There is something seriously wrong with Marvel Future Fight. And I don't know what the answer is. And I don't know why this is happening. And I'm very confused and a little bit scared. And I wish I was exaggerating for you guys. But this is one of the most puzzling turn of events that I've ever seen the game undergo. And we're in year 10. We're in year 11. You'd think the game would get more consistent over time, not less consistent. But let's start off with what I thought the whole video was going to be about, which is declining quality. Now, we've already talked about how, from a gameplay point of view, Emma Frost just isn't up to par with seasonal uniforms, with new tier 4s. Same thing goes for Shala Ball, native tier 2. She isn't up to par with other Crystal Wall tier 4s like Adam Warlock, and they need buffs. But we've been screaming buffs for a long time. We've been screaming buffs almost this entire year. What we haven't been screaming this year is for them to buff the aesthetics. But what if I told you that they were even slacking on the modeling and the meshing, something that they've been known to be very good at for a decade plus? Well, let's zoom in on Emma Frost here. If we first pull her up from the main menu screen where we see these large, versions of the characters, I want you to take a look at her earring, because you can see one earring on her right ear, okay, on the left side for us looking at her. But if you turn her character model, you cannot locate her other earring. In fact, I would guess, based on the fact that we don't even see the edge of her ear, they didn't even bother to model her another ear. Now, this seems kind of petty. Okay, Alex, so they forgot an ear, and they forgot an earring, and maybe they forgot an ear. That's not so bad, right? Well, it gets much worse. It gets much, much worse. If we zoom in on her character model here, you can see that they forgot to make sure the band around her thigh didn't clip through her skin. So you have this horrible, clipping, essentially, but it looks like her skin is melting over the little, X-Men thing on her thigh, and it's showing. This quality is left for non-IP mobile games, made by just random companies that you've never heard of. Bing Bong Enterprises comes out with a new Hero Fighter game, and it's an obvious ripoff of Marvel. It's an obvious ripoff of DC. Those kinds of companies do shit like this. Where is the quality control if Marvel Future Fight is doing this? And let me remind you, this is a seasonal paid uniform. It's not a free uniform that you get for completing the story. It's not a uniform that you pay crystals for that you can get for free. You have to spend real money. This is I don't know if this is lawsuit territory, but this is pretty damn embarrassing. And somehow it gets worse. Yes, it still gets worse. This is not the smoking gun, ladies and gentlemen. If you go into the skill preview, I'm ashamed that I didn't notice this when it came out. I attribute my exhaustion, but they screwed up the mesh on Emma Frost. And I want to warn you guys, what you're about to see is going to look Lovecraftian. It's going to look horrible and like body, transformation, body horror, if you will. A bit of the substance. They messed up the mesh on her legs. And so you got to zoom in a little bit, but you can see her legs don't pivot at the hip. They pivot in the middle of the thigh. And so what you're left with is this horrible, awful, terrifying thing. It looks like a human wearing a skin suit. Yeah, it's really bad. This is a huge mistake. This is a meshing mistake. When they were putting together the meshing, they didn't check it properly. They didn't verify. They didn't test it. And this is what shipped. Again, this is a paid uniform. And this is really bad. And we've basically never seen this in the game before. How have they started making mistakes that they haven't made for 10 years? Imagine that. This is insane. This is really bad. But it somehow gets even more bizarre. So I thought the whole video was going to be this. I was going to complain about Emma Frost's uniform. I was going to lay it on real thick. Emma Frost paywall uniform. You got to pay $20, $30. And you're paying $20, $30 for an incomplete thing, you know, an incomplete uniform for a character that's not even that good, right? But then it gets way more bizarre. It gets way more bizarre. So I went and did some investigating to make sure, because I didn't want to wake up this morning, make the video, and then jump onto the forum and realize, oh, they already know this is a problem. They've already put it in the July update known issues. I'm going to look dumb. Everyone in the comments is going to say, Alex, they already know. You're just, you know, rage baiting or drama farming or whatever, right? Slow news day, Alex. Okay. Let's take a look at what they said for the July update. They have found and are aware of some issues that may unintentionally cause inconvenience during gameplay. Okay, so growth bonus mission for Silver Surfer Shalabal. There's some bug there. Okay, they're apologizing with 200 Nornstones of Chaos. Very cool. They're investigating these issues, hero portrait information, and the camera being abnormally fixed in certain situations of Robos Ultimate. And that's it. So no, I've done my due diligence. They have no idea, at least publicly, that they screwed up on a seasonal uniform. They screwed up not once, not twice, but thrice. And then somehow it gets even more bizarre. So they don't know this is happening. I made the video. People have posted on social media, drawing this to their attention. You know, full credit to the people who posted this, because I was unaware of some of these things already. But I had some people post this on Twitter. So big shout out to Frost VT, who already posted these things. They posted this one as well, where her the glow on her telekinetic thing clips through her hat. These are just some additional issues with the character. You can see the meshing issue here that we talked about, or sorry, the clipping issue here with the thigh thing. You can also see just the way that this folds looks super weird and it looks cheap. You know, there's zoom in on that one. So big shout out to them for you know, pointing this out to me on Twitter. But then it gets worse. It gets more bizarre. This morning they last night they posted a video, the Fantastic Four First Steps. And I saw this thumbnail and I was like, this has got to be a joke, right? This has got to be like somebody put this together. This is like a fan thing. No. This is a real video. This is Marvel Future Fight. It's got almost 30,000 views. Okay, the Fantastic Four have rejoined Marvel Future Fight to defend the world from a looming threat of cosmic proportions. Costumes inspired by Fantastic Four First Steps. Okay, let's take a look. This is a minute-long video. Let's take a look. There's Shalabal. There's the Fantastic Four. There's the whole city modeled. Okay. Cool music. They're fighting her. Mr. Fantastic actually using his stretch powers. Sue saving them from a cosmic blast. Oh. Okay, he flattened Mr. Fantastic. Haha. Okay, they're still battling. That looks cool. That looks cool. He slingshots her. Sue gives her the smackdown. They won. Good job, Fantastic Family. Oh, what's this? The Shadow of Galactus. And they jump back into you know, into fight. So why is this super duper weird and adding an additional layer of just complete confusion? You know, like I've been hit with the confusion ray times 1,000. It's because this is really good. This is a really good cinematic. It's got good music. It's got good pacing. It's got good framing and good like rigging and modeling. It looks really good. This looks really good. Whoever made this most likely didn't make this, because this is terrible. This is genuinely bad. Okay, I don't mean to overreact. I don't mean to hate on the art department or whatever. I don't think it's the art department that does the meshing. Maybe they did. But this is embarrassing. Like, they should be embarrassed. It's unfortunate that they happen to make a mistake on a seasonal uniform, but that does add salt in the wound. And they have to rectify this. But on the other hand, whoever made this is, I love you. Like, this is amazing. This is fantastic. Like, pun unintended. This is, seriously, this is incredible. I'm not even going to get into all the different references, but the one that I love the most is right at the beginning. Shalabal comes through the building, which is one of... Sick pause, by the way. Which is one of the best scenes in the old Fantastic Four Silver Surfer movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer from 2007. And this is actually a good movie. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's better than First Steps, but there's a really cool scene where he comes through the building. You can see here, he flies up to the building, and then he warps through the building. And so this is clearly a direct reference. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And there's a bunch of other references to the old movies. Not to the one with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan, okay? Not that one. But anyways, this is incredible. This is one of the things that made me fall in love with Marvel Future Fight, the old cinematics. You can look them up. You can also find them on MFF's official YouTube channel. You do have to scroll down a lot to the old cinematics. They did release a really cool cinematic for the 10-year anniversary, but they used to release a lot of cinematics, and they were really, really good. And I'm not saying that they should go back to releasing cinematics, but as the game got older and we got fewer and fewer cinematics, we figured, okay, like, we're just not going to get cinematics anymore because, you know, the game just doesn't have as many people working on it, the budget's not as high, etc., etc., etc. And then they hit us with this absolute gem. Like, all the modeling, this takes a long time. This is a hilarious joke. This is a hilarious meme. I'm turning this into a sticker for the Discord server. Right, this is incredible. They did an amazing job. Like, I want to stand up and really applaud these people. But then there's this. So my brain is completely divided. I have no idea what to think of this. This is so bizarre. My best guess is that it's different departments, that it's genuinely different departments, and that there's not a lot of communication or there's not a lot of overlap between. Like, I don't think the people that made this are the same people that made this. And that's really unfortunate because I think Marvel Future Fight is a really special game. Obviously, I've said this for years. And I think it could be even more popular. Like, I think it could be a lot more popular than it is now. But I think it could be more popular than it was even at the anniversary, where we got tons of players coming back for all the anniversary gifts and stuff like that. Because this is what the game can look like when effort and quality and love for the source material meet. And that's really what has been missing in the game lately. So to turn this into kind of a lesson or sort of an encapsulation, like, look at the level of detail. His foot has the Fantastic Four. I got to go back frame by frame here. His foot has the 4 on it. They modeled the bottom of his foot. Okay? When quality meets effort, meets love for the source material and knowledge of the source material, this is what you get, and this is amazing. What we've gotten for the most part this year is not quality, is not love and knowledge of the source material, and it's not effort. Because we get mistakes like this, because we get bad reworks for the Fantastic Four that don't make them good, right? That's the other issue in the room, is this portrays a picture of the Fantastic Four that does not show up in game. They're terrible in game. They're awful. They're horrible. They're garbage, basically. They're half, like, he's useless in the game. He's straight up useless. And the whole Fantastic Four are useless without Franklin. So, you know, we've been missing that in the game for a while now. There's no effort. There's very little effort. There's no love and knowledge for the source material. They're just, you know, refusing to give characters iframe ignore, or they're giving them iframe ignore, but then they don't give them iframe, and then they don't have healing on the skill that they're spamming, and they just die immediately, and, you know, everything is just, it makes no sense. And then there's this, and this is amazing, and I want to, you know, frame this in my room, and this is, like, so nice. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. It's super duper confusing. It's like, this looks gorgeous, man. Can we just get the people who made this to make Marvel Future Fight, please? Like, genuinely, this is what we want. The people who made this, we want them to work on the game, because they clearly care about things. They clearly have, you know, a respect for the source material, and they want to make it look cool, and they want to make it look good. And that's just what we need, man. That's what we need. We do not need whoever did this. I'm so sorry, but yeah, you should work on another game, buddy. Yeah. So that's basically the whole video, man. I don't know what's going on with Marvel Future Fight. Like, if it wasn't for this video, I would be like, hey, guys, you know, I'm not saying you should quit the game, but quality's going down at an alarming rate. Because this is the first time we've ever seen literal shit. You know? But then I can't say that. Because this is like, wow. You know? And sure, you could say, oh, this is just a smokescreen. This is just to distract you from the fact that the uniforms are bad. I don't think they would do that, right? Like, genuinely speaking, it takes more effort and more money to create this than it does to just buff the uniforms. So that's why I don't really subscribe to that logic or that thinking that this video is a way to, like, soothe us and placate us because they're not going to buff the Fantastic Four. It doesn't cost them anything. It costs them like an hour of somebody's time to buff the Fantastic Four, right? They don't pay them that much money. This took way long. This took weeks potentially to make, right? If not that many people were working on it, right? So this cost way more money than buffing the Fantastic Four. So it seems like there's just a disconnect between the departments, and the art department and whoever did this, obviously they're still running on all cylinders. They're still popping off. They're still flexing. They're still cooking, and they're amazing. And then the people that do the balancing and that do the meshing and the rigging, yeah, you guys need to go back to square one. Please bring back the old MFF devs. Please. We've had enough suffering. Okay. Listen, I don't even have time in the video to really talk about the second Galactus. This is a Galactus hint, by the way. For those of you that don't think we're getting a Galactus Epic Quest, why would they do this? And they literally say, to defend the world from a looming threat of cosmic proportions. That's not talking about Shalabal, guys. That's talking about Galactus. That's talking about Galactus. So, yeah. I do genuinely think the next update is Galactus Epic Quest. That being said, with the quality in the game right now, I don't know if it's a good time for the Epic Quest. If this is what they're going to do, then we're in big trouble. I think the devs need to make it up to the players. Okay, I think they need to obviously fix all of Emma Frost's, you know, mesh errors, clipping errors. They need to model the other ear, put on the other earring. Okay, they need to make sure that when she does her tier 3 animation, that the telekinesis doesn't clip through her hat and touch her face and look so stupid, like she has some blue shit on her nose. And then they need to buff her. Sorry for the mistake, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. You know, it's a paid uniform. It's a paid seasonal uniform. We're gonna buff Emma Frost. We're gonna buff all of her base stats by 10% to apologize. While we're here, guys, we're gonna buff Shalabal's base stats by 5%, and we're gonna buff all of the Fantastic Four First Steps uniforms. We're gonna buff all of their base stats by 10% as well. We really want you guys to enjoy the Fantastic Four First Steps update, so please accept this apology from the dev team. We look forward to your continued participation in Marvel Future Fight. That's what they should be saying. Anyways, guys, we're probably gonna get just the fix of the meshing, and then that's it. Just yeah, I'm just, you know, you aim for the stars on these things. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I'm so confused. I don't know what to think. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Take care.